The Home Mortgage Law Show is a paid program and is intended as a resource guide for education, information, and entertainment purposes and is not intended to provide specific legal advice. The information that you hear should not be used as a substitute for competent legal advice from a professional attorney. Hiring of an attorney is an important decision which should not be based on advertising or the information that you hear today.
You're listening to the Home Mortgage Law Show, brought to you by the law offices of Morris DuPont. Today we have attorney Shay DuPont flying solo. So if you've got a question or concern, now's the time to call. It's toll free. 866-610-NEWS. 866-610-6397. AT&T Wireless customers, you just dial star 610. And Bill was on the phone.
Yeah, we're talking to Bill, who's a friend of the firm's, and he has brought us some clients, people that he knows that needed some help. And he's telling me now he's got two more friends that need help, but they have foreclosure sale dates coming up in December. So the sooner you can get them to come in, Bill, sooner we can see whether or not, number one,
I'm going to call them as soon as I get off the
Yeah.
phone with you. But it didn't do me any good. I had to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and it just went through last month. And I'm helping everybody else now. So
Chapter 7 can definitely be a good alternative, but it doesn't resolve the issues. You still have to try and get a loan modification if you want to keep the house. So Chapter 7 is a wonderful thing.
I can't afford it anyway. I'm on fixed income now, and the thing is, I owed $1,800,000, and I just couldn't afford it anymore.
Oof.
I lost 3 properties. But I feel relieved now. But I wish I would have contacted you first before I did what I did. But I didn't. I wasn't listening to your program. So.
Well, I try to stress, and you're probably a good person to sort of back me up on this, that I stress to people, the sooner you can come in, if you're even considering defaulting on your mortgage, come see me. If you've defaulted on your mortgage, come see me. If a foreclosure action has been filed against you, come see me. If you're interested in a loan mod, considering a short sale, you have negative equity on your property, come see me. I'll explain to you what I believe your options are regarding that property. And the earlier you see me, the more options I can give you.
As soon as I got the foreclosure notices on my property, I got an attorney right away, but he really took advantage of me, and I filed bar charges on him. But
Good for you.
It didn't do anything. It didn't do a thing. Just maybe a slap on the wrist. That is it.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but that kind of thing can be very threatening to an attorney because we're all, of course, concerned about our license. And I should be saying now that, look, not every attorney is a foreclosure defense attorney. Whether they say they are, it's a specialty.
This is what he did. This was a specialty with him. In fact, he was the one that created the foreclosure project. And he's on the radio show every Monday at 5.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
He used to work with the White House and Congress, too.
Wow. Well, did you know that David Stern finally gave up his fight to keep his license to practice law in the state of Florida?
Well, he was the one that had the robo signing on my property.
Exactly. So we've got David Stern, who, of course, was the attorney that was sort of the example of attorneys gone wrong. He was a foreclosure attorney that represented the big lenders. And he and his firm were charged with fraudulently signing documents, with creating false documents. And he was fighting a disbarment from the Florida bar. And this past week, his attorney, Tom Tu, actually went ahead and said, sent a letter to the Florida bar saying that David Stern, in fact, was not going to continue to fight the disbarment, that he was accepting the fact that the Florida bar was going to yank his license. So David Stern will not be practicing law in the state of Florida anymore, which is probably a big sigh of relief for all the homeowners out there. But, the damage that was done because of attorneys like David Stern, the damage that is done by attorneys like the attorney that was supposed to be defending your foreclosure action that didn't do a good job. It hurts all of us that try every day to do a great job for our clients. I want to win every single day on every single file, on every single hearing. I want to bring you success stories. I want to have people that are proud that they had an attorney that was as good as Morris DuPont attorneys are, and that we resolved the issue for them. We were able to keep them in their house. We were able to get them a loan mod, a principal reduction, able to get that short sale done with a deficiency waiver, able to get the deed in lieu, get the bankruptcy done in a timely fashion. I mean, all of these things, they're not that hard. It's harder to screw up and to be lying to everybody. I look at some of these attorneys that have gone on to disappear with client funds, and it's so shameful. It's so, so shameful.
I understand it. That's why I have faith in you, and that's why I recommend you whenever I can.
You're very kind. I really, really appreciate it, Bill. Try to get those people to come in. Look.
Oh, I'm going to call them right now.
There you go. I apprate it. We'll
All
try
right.
and
Thank
help
you, Sharon.
them.
All right.
Very nice.
Bye-bye.
Oh, so lucky.
Glenn, welcome to the show.
What's his what?
Glenn.
Hi, Glenn.
Hi, how you doing? I'm driving. I'm listening to your show for the first time, and I'm really enjoying listening to you and hearing all the advice that you're giving everybody. My situation is nothing like I've been hearing the last three callers.
All right.
I just want an opinion or maybe a little advice. I'm looking to purchase either a condo, villa. My credit is over 800. I have no issues with the 20% down or even paying in full if I had to, if it was inexpensive enough. And I believe in buyer beware. Like with all the mortgage companies and title companies and everything that I'm going to have to do business with, is there anybody that you who would you get your mortgage from or do your title?
Well, those are two different companies that I would use. For a mortgage, I would always go to a mortgage broker instead of going to one individual lender, because if I go just to Bank of America and ask them to if they're willing to write the mortgage for me, then I only have available to me Bank of America products. But if I go to a mortgage broker, then a mortgage broker has a whole cafeteria of different products, and they will know, based on my particular situation, what my credit score is, how much I'm willing to put down. They will know what the best fit is for me to be able to get the best rate for the mortgage. So they're going to be my advocate, working for me to get me the best mortgage possible. Or if I go into Bank of America, that Bank of America loan officer is working for Bank of America, and they're going to try and get the most money for Bank of America. So the mortgage broker that we use is Alex Morales. We're going to put his contact information on our Facebook page, so you can go to the Home Mortgage Law Show on Facebook, and we will have Alex's information on there for you. But I will also, by the end of the show, I will peel off Alex's telephone number and his email address, so you can contact Alex about helping you find the right mortgage so that you will pay the least amount.
I have it.
Natalie's way ahead of me. She's already done it. So, Natalie, go ahead.
Ready for the number?
I am.
Okay, it's 786
Mm-hmm.
525
Got it.
8559. Alex Morales.
Got it. And where is he out of?
He's in South Florida. He's in the Miami-Dade area.
Okay.
Where are you, Jonathan?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm in Broward County.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So then for title, the title company that we use is Attorneys Title Group. On every single transaction, whether it's a short sale or a regular transaction, we use Attorneys Title Group. So I'll put the information again for Attorneys Title Group on there, but you can always call the office and they can actually even transfer the call to Jennifer at Attorneys Title Group. And that's 800 974 2712.
2712. Okay.
That's Attorneys Title Group.
Okay.
And they can do that for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. I heard that one guy talk about the Bank of America where he had something extra he had gotten that they didn't cover. It's kind of scary. I just want to make sure I'm getting what I want and not getting pushed into something that I don't need.
Well, call us after you get everything done and tell us about the purchase and how it went. Okay.
I will.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for listening to the show.
Thanks a lot.
You're listening to the Home Mortgage Law Show, 1-800-974-2712. That's the toll-free number that Glenn's going to call and that you should call right now, 800-974-2712. Leo, you are next here on the Home Mortgage Law Show. You're listening to the Home Mortgage Law Show, brought to you by the law offices of Morris DuPont. Today we have attorney Shay DuPont, and she's taking calls. That number is 866-610-NEWS. That's 866-610-6397. And Shay, we've got Leo now on the phone.
Hi, Leo.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great, thanks. What can we do for you today?
I have a question. I have a investment property. It's a triplex in Broward County. And the lender and servicer is SunTrust Mortgage. And I've been trying for 2 years with the loan modification. It's document after document. Every time I send it to them, they want more things. They issue, on and on. They would not put me on a trial payment. Finally, they denied the modification last month, and they said they will approve a short sale for $230, but I owe $585. And the question is, I would love to keep the property. That's why I was fighting. If they would just do a little reduction of the principal.
A little.
And
A little.
If they would reduce the principal by some, because right now it's worth $245, and they approve it for $230. So the appraised value.
Okay, so let's talk about this property, because really you're underwater by more than 50% on this property. So you really needed a loan modification that included a principal reduction, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what was the specific reason that SunTrust denied your loan modification application?
Because they said that they cannot reduce the principal for more than $100,000. That's the maximum they can take off. And that's what they said. That's the maximum they will take off. They advised me the best, but they will approve a short sale for $230.
Okay, and in an approval of a short sale at $230, did they also say that they would agree if you brought in a purchase contract where they'd get $230, that they would waive the deficiency amount,
yes.
the $355,000? Oh gosh, Leo, you've got a bank that's offering to waive $355,000 of the debt if you can bring them a short sale contract wherein they will receive $230,000. And they are owed $585,000. Why do you want to keep this property so badly?
Because I have it's a triplex. I have a family member living in there.
You have a family member living in there. Okay, and which family member is that?
It's my sister.
Okay, so your sister is living in one of the 3 units in the triplex.
Yes.
And you have tenants in the other 2 units?
Yes.
Okay, and when is the last time you made a mortgage payment on this property?
It's been almost a year and a half.
Okay, so it's been about 18 months since you made a payment on it, but you're still receiving the tenant income from 2 of the tenants, and I don't know, is your sister paying you some amount to live there, or is that just a...
Not really.
Okay,
no.
Well, so you're being just a good brother. So you're receiving income, you're not making the mortgage payment, it's been 18 months, and you just got a loan modification denied by SunTrust because SunTrust said that they could reduce the principal by $100,000. They would forgive $100,000 and give you loan mod, but that, in fact, would not be enough to make the numbers work. So instead, they denied the loan mod and offered to agree to a short sale where they'd waive the deficiency. And you're saying, no, you don't want that because your sister is living there. I understand that you want to help your sister and take care of her, but the best that you can do is probably to defend this foreclosure action as long as you possibly can to keep her in there. She can save money. You can be saving money because you're going to receive the tenant income, and you can help her for the first couple of years that she has to live in another place, because the only thing that really makes fiscal sense is for you to agree to do the short sale with SunTrust. Not now, but sometime at a later date before a foreclosure sale would happen. So,
But they already filed foreclosure. It's been, I think, November last year. It's going to be a year.
Okay. And have you had competent foreclosure defense counsel defending the foreclosure action?
No.
Right. So you still have an opportunity to file a motion to dismiss and to have foreclosure defense counsel come into the case and vigorously defend the action. And that might buy you another year or two to be able to continue to get the tenant income, continue to give your sister a place to live, save that money, and then a year and a half from now, we do the short sale. You are now divested of the property. Your sister has to live somewhere else, but you've got plenty of money to help support her so that she can live and be able to have a nice place to live while you underwrite the rent payments for her because you got all that money from the tenant income.
Okay.
How do you like that picture?
Yeah, I think that's what I will do.
I
Buy
mean-
myself another year, and maybe she can find, get a job and.
There's an idea for you. Your sister could actually be self-supporting. Wouldn't that be great? Then she wouldn't need to be able to stay in an apartment for free. So there's all kinds of other options that include the eventual short sale of this property. But I wouldn't want to do it any sooner than you had to because right now it's actually working out very well for you. So you're welcome to call
for the short sale, they tell me they give me until December 31st.
Yeah. What, you think they're not going to do the same deal for you a year and a half from now, even though by that point you'll owe even more than $585? I still think they're probably going to do a short sale for you and waive the deficiency. If they offered it once, they'll probably offer it again. But give me a call at the office. You're going to need competent foreclosure counsel, and certainly if there is one thing that Morris DuPont is known for more than anything else, it's great foreclosure defense for homeowners who have a foreclosure action filed against them. If you're trying to defend that foreclosure action and you're also trying to resolve how to resolve that foreclosure case, whether it's a short sale, a loan mod, whether it's to defend the action as long as possible, you need competent legal counsel. That's the law firm of Morris DuPont. So, Leo, give us a call.
Is the office in Miami, or can I come to Broward?
You can go to the Plantation office or the downtown Fort Lauderdale office.
Oh, Plantation is the one.
Yeah,
Okay.
super convenient.
Thank you very much. I'll call and meet up with you guys.
All right, Leo, the number is 800-974.
2712.
You got it. 1-800-974-2712. We'll look forward to seeing you, Leo, at the Plantation office.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to the show and calling in. We appreciate it.
All right. Now we've got less than a minute. So, Sheila?
Oh, finally, women representing. Sheila, I've been waiting for a call from the ladies. I'm here in the station all alone taking calls. I've only had the men in. I need the women representing today. What are we going to be talking about?
Well, I asked for, I have a high interest rate, and I asked for a loan modification, but was turned down.
What?
And, yeah, because they said, well, you can afford the mortgage, so no, we're not going to lower your rate. So I called an attorney out of the phone book, and he said, just quit paying.
Yeah.
Let me know when they send a foreclosure notice. I'm still stuck here with the it's an 8.25% interest rate.
What's the interest rate?
8.25%.
8.25%.
Yeah.
That is absolutely too high, but I don't like the advice that attorney gave you. I don't like it one bit. Do I have time, Natalie, to
you
go?
Have 30 seconds.
I have 30 seconds, Natalie. We've got to take a break. When we come back from the break, I'm going to talk to you about why I don't like his advice and the advice that I would give you, and then I'm going to see on the show whether or not I think you can qualify for loan modification. What I'm going to need from you after the break is I'm going to need what your gross monthly income is. So you're going to, if you have pay stubs, if you have a profit and loss statement, or you get benefits from the government, after the break, let me know.
Don't hang up. You're listening to the Home Mortgage Law Show, 1-800-974-2712. That's the toll-free number to book your free consultation at the law offices of Morris DuPont. Much more of the Home Mortgage Law Show and Sheila's numbers and options coming up after this. You're listening to the Home Mortgage Law Show, brought to you by the law offices of Morris DuPont. 866-610-NEWS. That's a toll-free number to call right now and ask your question. Get some answers, get some options with our attorney, Shay DuPont, who's flying solo today. 866-610-NEWS, 866-610-6397, AT&T Wireless customer star 610, and Sheila.
And I'm on the phone with Sheila. Sheila has an interest rate of 8.25%, and she tried to get a loan modification with her lender. They denied her loan modification, saying that she had sufficient income to make the mortgage payment. So she called an attorney in the phone book, and the attorney gave her this advice: stop making the mortgage payment and call me when the lender files a foreclosure action. Ugh, I don't even know. I barely know how to respond to that. Yeah, I don't like it. That's not the advice that I give people. First off, I sit there and crunch some numbers with you and tell you whether or not I think you could qualify for loan modification, so you don't have to go through the whole process of applying if I don't think you're going to get it at the end. So what is your gross monthly income, Sheila? What did you tell the lender was your gross monthly income?
$3,200.
$3,200. So whether or not you can qualify for a loan modification is really not that difficult. We simply take $3,200 and we times it by the 31% figure. So I'm going to go to my handy dandy calculator, and I'm going to take 3,200, and I'm going to then times it by 0.31, and that equals $992. So what is your current mortgage payment?
Well, it's a condo, so I have a mortgage payment and an association payment, and together they're $762.
Okay, so what is your monthly mortgage payment?
$542.
And does that include the escrowing of the taxes?
No.
Okay, so $542 for the mortgage payment, and your HOA is how much?
$218.
$218. And what are your yearly taxes?
I don't pay taxes.
You don't pay any taxes. You're
No,
exempt.
I'm disabled, so I'm exempt.
You're
yeah.
exempt from paying taxes. So then you're right. Then it's the 0, the 6, the 760. So the reason why you couldn't qualify for the loan modification is because your current monthly housing expense, which is defined as PITIH, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, and homeowners association fee, equals $760, and your 31% of gross income number, which is what the lender is required to make sure that your monthly housing expense is at or below 31%, is $992, because your monthly income is $3,200. So $3,200 times 31% is $992. That's what you should be paying, that or below, and you already are paying below that. So there's nothing for the lender to reduce in order to get your payment lowered to bring it to the 31% figure, because you're already paying less than 31%. That's what they meant when they said they couldn't qualify you for a loan modification because you already had an affordable payment. Does that make sense?
It does. They didn't say that, but it does.
I know. That's the problem, is they don't say it the way that you need to hear it to understand and make it easy to appeal if you think they were wrong. Your real issue is not that the payment is unaffordable. Your issue is that the payment includes an interest rate of 8.25%, which is way too high, right?
It's way too high, and I'm so far underwater. It's crazy.
All right. So what is the current principal balance of the mortgage?
$74,000.
And what is the current market value?
$32,000.
Oh, geez, that is really a huge negative equity issue that you have there. Have you determined whether or not your loan is a Fannie Mae or a Freddie Mac loan?
No, it's one of those weird loans where they mess up. They made it look like I couldn't afford the payment, so they did a twisted kind of loan, one of those illegal loans, and then they went out of business and disappeared.
Okay, so you don't know if you've got a Fannie Freddie. Are you?
I don't have one. No, it's a 40-year mortgage. I know that at 8.25%.
How do you know it's not a Fannie Freddie, Sheila?
Well, because I checked it out now, so I asked my mortgage company, and I looked at the paperwork, the original paperwork, and the refinance paperwork.
Okay,
And
neither
I
of those
filed.
neither of those tell you if it's a Fannie Freddie. That's not how you find out if it's a Fannie Freddie. You can your mortgage company can tell you if it's a Fannie Freddie. So if you got that information from your mortgage company, the mortgage servicing company, then I believe that you do know if it's a Fannie Freddie. Or if you go to the website, a loan lookup Fannie Mae, loan lookup Freddie Mac. If you use those keywords and do the search and plug in your information, and it comes back and says no match found, then I believe it's not a Fannie Freddie. Because it would
Right,
be
I did both of those. Yeah.
great. So you know it's not a Fannie Freddie. So you can't refinance. You can't use HARP, the Home Affordable Refinance Program, in order to
Right.
get that interest rate lowered. With even though you have negative equity on the property, so you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. So let's analyze it a different way. If I wanted to rent your condo today, how much would it rent for?
It would probably be $550, something like that.
Okay, so it rents for $550, and you're paying $760 a month to live there. That doesn't
Right.
make any sense. So what do you think of this option? As I have said a couple times during the show today, I was going to go through the 3 different types of short sales. 3 different types of short sales. That's the way Morris DuPont breaks it down. One of those 3 is called a strategic short sale. And that's where you make a conscious decision, which you seemingly have made, that you are never going to make another mortgage payment on this property ever again.
Yeah.
With the knowledge, as that attorney told you, that the lender is going to file a foreclosure action against your property. That usually takes a minimum of 6 months from the time that you default. So let's say that you defaulted last January. We would have expect a foreclosure action to have been filed against the property, meaning a process server comes knocking on your door and serves you with that foreclosure paperwork. We would have expected that to have happened about last July. Once the property is in foreclosure, you have competent legal counsel, such as Morris DuPont, defend that foreclosure action, and we can keep you in that property, in possession of that property, for a minimum of 18 more months. So that would have taken you through to December of 2014.
Wow.
In the last months before a foreclosure sale, we would want to short sale that property at current market value and negotiate with SunTrust to have SunTrust waive the difference between what they now claim you owe and what they receive as the proceeds of the short sale. Let's say...
Yeah, it's actually Aquan, yeah.
Yeah, okay, Aquan. So, so Aquan is a great lender, great servicer, and we could probably get them to waive the deficiency amount so that you could walk away from that property after 2 years of not making a mortgage payment with a complete release of personal liability on the note, not owing anybody anything, not paying the real estate commissions, not paying the closing costs, having the property be transferred out of your name via a short sale. You walk away and go rent the unit across the hallway for $550 a month.
Right. That sounds good.
Right? I mean, what other options are they giving you? They can't give you a loan modification because your numbers don't work. You're on a fixed income. You can't support this 8.25%, much less a property that has a note value of $74,000 and a current market value of $32,000. And you could, for the next 10 years, make your monthly housing expense of $760 a month. That's the $542 of your monthly mortgage payment and the $218 for your HOA fee. Combined, your monthly housing expense is $760. You pay that every month for the next 10 years. Then you go to sell the property. Sheila, how much would you walk away from that closing with?
Well, I'd be owing money.
You'd be owing money. You'd walk away with nothing. So those $760 a month payments that you're making to Aquan are not equity investment payments into that property. And if they're not equity investment payments, what are they? They're rent. You're renting it from Aquan till the current market value exceeds the note value. And that's not going to happen for the next 10 years. So all you're doing is renting it. You're renting it for $760 and the rent value is $550. Why are you paying Ocwen a premium? Those are the questions all people need to ask themselves. I've got to take a break. Sheila, thanks so much for calling the Home Mortgage Law Show.
It's 1-800-974-2712. That's a toll-free number to book your free consultation with Shay or anyone at the team of Morris DuPont, PA. 1-800-974-2712. We'll wrap things up right after the break here on the Home Mortgage Law Show. And you're listening to the Home Mortgage Law Show, brought to you by the law offices of Morris DuPont. We are in the home stretch. Shay DuPont is here, and she is taking calls. If you have a question or concern, if you're looking for some options, now's the time to pick up the phone while we still have time today. 866-610-NEWS, 866-610-6397. AT&T Wireless customers, it's star 610.
Now, our last caller, Sheila, really was a kind of a perfect example for me to start talking about the different types of short sales that are available to homeowners and why you might want to consider short selling, because in Sheila's situation, the numbers indicated that her best option was a short sale, and not a short sale today, but a short sale where she actually stayed in the property as long as she wanted to before having to make that decision. But there's other types of short sales out there. Really, we break it down into three at Morris DuPont. The first type of short sale, we have coined the phrase short sale now. That is where someone comes in to us and they want to get out of that property. Maybe they need to relocate for work purposes. Maybe they've got another property they're moving into. But whatever the reason, they want to get out of that property right away. And a short sale now is where we advise the borrower, our client, to do a rolling 30 to 60 days past due. Not like that attorney told Sheila, just stop making your mortgage payment and eventually the lender will file a foreclosure action. No, no, no. First, if the only thing you're trying to accomplish is get a short sale done, you've got to trigger a default with your lender, but that doesn't mean you have to go into a complete default where you are risking a foreclosure action being filed against the property. Because why would you want to have a foreclosure action on your credit report where it can hurt you to later qualify for another mortgage if you don't have to? So with our clients, we say go a rolling 30, 60 days past due. Now, what does that mean? Well, doing a rolling 30, 60 days is this. Let's say that you haven't made your November mortgage payment. And come December, you don't make your December mortgage payment. Well, by January 13th, you are now 73 days past due, right? You've missed all of November, 30 days. You've missed all of December, that 30 days. And December 13th is the first day that I would then want you to make a mortgage payment. You make one mortgage payment on January 13th, and that will apply back to November. Now you're paid through the end of November. Now you're past due 43 days, all of December and 13 days of January. The next month you make a payment on February 13th. Now you are past due for only January and February because that payment applied to December. So you can see that you're continuing to make mortgage payments after you've skipped 2 months. And that keeps you in good stead with your lender. It doesn't trigger a foreclosure complaint being filed against you. It doesn't trigger the lender saying, no, we won't accept any more payments from you and actually mailing back payments because you're under the 80 days past due. So that is how you trigger the lender agreeing to review a short sale application without going all the way to having a risking a foreclosure action being filed against you. So during that process, let's say you stop making the mortgage payment November 1st. Well, I'm going to want to immediately list that property for sale at current market value. I'm going to have that property shown by the realtor, and a prospective buyer is going to submit a purchase contract. I'm going to negotiate for you the terms of that purchase contract. Why? Because I want to include language in that purchase contract that states you are under no obligation to close unless your lender agrees to a complete deficiency waiver on the deficiency amount, which is the difference between what the property sells for and what the lender is claiming you owe at the time of the sale. In addition, you are under no obligation to close if the lender requires you to bring a cash contribution to the closing table. You certainly don't want that. So that's the kind of language I put into a purchase contract to protect you from the buyer, the buyer's real estate agent, our real estate agent, and your lender. You certainly would want that language included in a purchase contract that's going to be submitted as part of a short sale application. Once we have the purchase contract signed off on, we put together the short sale application, we submit it to the lender. The lender has 30 days to review it. They come back with one of three things: their short sale approval letter, which waives the deficiency and hopefully no cash contribution, a request for additional documents, or a counteroffer. Those are the three things the lender is going to come back with. One of three. So as long as we negotiate to get a complete deficiency waiver with no cash contribution, we set the property for a closing date, you close, you walk away from the property with no personal liability, and you have only gone a maximum of 60 days past due. That's all the lender's going to report. 60 days past due maximum and settled for less than full amount. So that's a short sale now. And when Sheila was on the phone with us, I went through the strategic short sale. And let me see if I can I squeeze a phone call in?
Yes, you can.
Then next week I'll talk about the short sale race.
Paul, welcome to the show.
Hi, Paul. Few minutes left. How can I help you?
Well, thank you for taking my call. I'm sure I got a quick scenario I want to share with you so you know where I stand. I lost my job the first time, and then I caught back up again. And then all of a sudden, when my job was steady, I was starting to make payments again. And then all of a sudden, my payments were getting rejected over the internet, and I couldn't figure out why. 3-4 months later, continuous rejection, and then I found out that the mortgage company I was making payments to was shut down by the federal government. Can I say that?
Was that Taylor Bean Whitaker?
Taylor Bean and Whitaker, exactly.
Absolutely. I'm very familiar with that case. Taylor Bean Whitaker and Colonial Bank together. They were, in fact, executives from Taylor Bean Whitaker were the only executives thus far through the whole housing financial crisis to have ever been indicted and had prison sentences.
Oh, my God.
Yep.
That's, wow. Anyway, the long and the short of it is that when I had been, I have got it documented that every payment was made accurately in on time, and that now when I found out about that particular scenario, when they got shut down, I didn't know where I stood. So all of a sudden, I looked at the credit report for some reason, or I applied for something and I got rejected, and I couldn't figure out why, and I found out that I'd been put 8 months behind on my mortgage payment.
Sure.
Yeah, and now what recourse do I have? I had no recourse at that point.
Well, what you needed to do was to, at some point, you received a letter from a new mortgage servicing company that said, hey, we have taken over the mortgage servicing rights from your previous mortgage servicing company, which is Taylor Bean Whitaker. So now you should be paying us the mortgage payments. And FYI, you're 8 months behind. Please pay us $25,000 or whatever the total for the past due amount, which is very difficult for someone to do.
Well, no, we were only like I said, 4 months. I tried to make payments and couldn't, and
Okay.
I kept all. That money was always accumulating. Okay.
Right. So who's the mortgage servicer now?
Bank America.
Okay.
And now the Bank America, we went through that scenario. Everything, they got caught up. They were very nice. They did everything they could, got it all straight, got it online. Everything worked fine. Lost the job. 1 or 2 payments, got caught up. Lost the job again.
Oh.
And then from that point, everything started going downhill. Now it's been 20 some odd months since I've made any kind of now I got a mortgage company that's trying to get it sold for me on the short sale. Bank America's just passing the papers back and forth for some reason. I don't know why they're not acknowledging as quickly as they should, but I've heard from many sources that they are just basically time wasters.
Paul, I bet that I can be of some help to you, whether I'm not saying retain the law firm. I'm saying a conversation with me is going to be very helpful to you at this stage of the game. I want you to give me a call at the office. I've got to go, and the show is ending, but I want to help you. Give me a call at the office. It's 800-974-2712. Tell them you were on the phone with me in the radio show, and we ran out of time, and I want to continue my conversation. They're going to schedule you for a conference call with me so we can continue this conversation, and I can give you some good advice, okay?
Thanks very much. I do appreciate that.
All right. You make sure to give us a call so we can finish our conversation during the week.
Absolutely.
And
All
that
right,
number is 1-800-974-2712. 1-800-974-2712. 1-800-974-2712. That's the law office of Morris DuPont. And if you're listening to the show, once again, there is an office near you. Pick up the phone and book your free consultation. You won't regret it. The Home Mortgage Law Show. We'll see you next Saturday.